Hello and welcome to Tuesdays with Morrissey. I'm Adam Morrissey. Today I'm thrilled to be joined by two entrepreneurs I greatly respect. I love what they're doing, but more importantly, I love how they're doing it. Alexis Smith and Nicole Craven, how are you? Welcome to the show.
We are great. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining. Alexis and Nicole are founders of Après Hours, a canned, ready-to-drink espresso martini company that has been growing rapidly, expanding distribution in nearly 40 states, and we're receiving press from state and local publications as well as international outlets such as Forbes. I love what you guys are doing. Like most days, I'm currently enjoying an Après Hours. This time vanilla because the total wine was completely sold out of everything else. So congratulations.
It does happen. Thank you.
Yeah. I know it was a long road to bring the product to market. So I would love to hear a little bit about the process to bring the concept to life.
Yeah. So Alexis and I had the idea back in 2020, whenever it was peak COVID, peak quarantine. We were drinking lots of wine and we really missed our favorite pick-me-up. Our favorite drink was an espresso martini, and we hadn't had one in so long because bars, restaurants were closed, and we thought surely that there was already an espresso martini in the can. I mean, at the time, canned drinks were becoming really popular. The seltzer started launching.
I mean, you had ranch waters, you had everything. Mm-hmm. There are even hard coffees in the market. We tried a few of them. All of them were filled with dairy, high in sugar, didn't taste the way an espresso martini should taste. And in fairness, they were classified as hard coffees, but when we were looking through the liquor stores, which were the only things open at the time, we realized that there were no canned espresso martinis. So that's kind of when we put our heads together and decided, hey, why don't we kind of look into this?
Super cool. And I know, Alexis, you were at Jack Mason, and Nicole, you were at a Texas-based PR firm. When you look at the journey to bring the product to market, what of your own skill sets and backgrounds were you able to use? And then where have you leveraged the networks of others in your network and mentors and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, we worked together before I worked at Jack Mason and before she worked at her boutique PR agency. We worked at a national PR agency together. So that's how we know each other. Mm-hmm. But I think we really know how to market, and we brought that in from our past or previous companies. So that has been very beneficial for us.
Yeah, it was really helpful, especially because, I mean, a lot of alcohol companies you see out there right now, a lot of them are big brands, faceless brands. They don't really have any soul behind them. So whenever we decided to launch Après Hours, we knew we wanted to change that and bring in a new approach just from our previous history, our backgrounds. I mean, our jobs used to be storytelling and marketing and having a vision and a purpose behind brands, and that's what people would hire us to do before we started this. So we knew that when bringing Après Hours to life, that was something that was going to be really important to us and something a lot of brands weren't doing. Still, a lot of brands aren't doing it. Some are, but we knew that if we brought that unique approach that we could really make a splash.
Yeah, I mean, people want a sense of community. They want to feel a part of the brand, and that was one of our main missions.
Yeah. How about the product itself? What was that like to, you have a concept product. And it's beautiful packaging. I mean, the taste is smooth and refreshing.
Yes, very refreshing.
What was it like to how'd you guys get your arms around, all right, you got this idea, you guys haven't been in the beverage industry, who did you guys engage and work with to bring the finished product?
Yeah, so thankfully Nicole and I both came from PR hospitality, so we use those connections to get their feedback on it, kind of taste the product, or come up with the product with us. We had a consultant that helped us guide us through because we both didn't come from the beverage industry.
Excellent. And how long did the process take?
So the process took about a year and a half. We actually tried 27 different flavors of each of our SKUs, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it takes a long time. Every little tweak matters. If it's too sweet, if it's not too sweet, if it's too bitter. So that took a very long process.
Yeah, I feel like from the idea to get it to market, it took about a year and a half, which is honestly pretty quick because usually it takes about 3 years for brands to get launched. But once we had the idea and we knew we wanted to launch it, we really wanted to be one of the first to market, especially with an espresso martini. We knew if it wasn't out there that someone would make it, and we wanted to be those people. So we really put our heads down and hit the ground running.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw Après Hours in any capacity. It was on, Instagram or, some sort of online marketing, and well before the product launched. And you guys talked about the importance of building a community. And, before there was a product, there was a ski club, a tennis club, a social club, merchandise. Can you talk a little bit about what went into creating that community and why that's so important?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we wanted everybody to feel like they were part of the process of creating Après Hours because they really are. I mean, our customers are our bread and butter. We want them to feel like they're a part of every step of the way.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to build a community and a lifestyle around a brand. Like I mentioned earlier, we didn't want to be a faceless, soulless brand. We really wanted people to feel that connection of what Après Hours is, what that lifestyle is, what the espresso martini is. So whenever we launched our social media, we wanted people to already associate Après Hours with an espresso martini before we even had product. And that's mainly just because if we would have launched social media after we were already in stores, people would see Après Hours but not really understand what it is. We already had that community base before we even brought the product to market, which I think is part of the reason why we had such a successful launch when we launched back in August.
Yeah, were there other brands that you guys were looking to as inspiration, whether they're in the beverage industry or not, that you feel that did a particularly good job at creating some of those communities?
Yeah, we kind of looked at brands that weren't in the alcohol industry and wanted to take a different approach because a lot of alcohol companies don't usually bring community into their social media, into their marketing. So we look to a lot of brands like Summer Fridays, Bumble, those type of brands, just to see what they're doing as far as marketing, guerrilla marketing, all of that, and wanted to incorporate it with our marketing as well.
Very cool. Something else you guys have done really well that I haven't seen too much in beverages, maybe it's just through the lens I'm looking at, is creating brand partnerships. So leveraging partnerships with other businesses. You love that?
Yeah, we love doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you've done it with fast casual restaurants, hotels, cocktail bars, ride-sharing apps, card games, clothing brands. How are you guys going about building those partnerships to create consumer awareness, and why has that been so important to you guys?
Yeah, a lot of these connections either we have or we just honestly reach out. We want to grab their community because whatever brands that we're collabing with usually have the same customer base as us. And it's almost just reaching a new audience, reaching their audience, them reaching our audience. So it's just a collaboration together.
Yeah, and it's definitely more of an experience. We really wanted people to have an experience around Après Hours. So, for example, we did a partnership with Alto. They could drink Après Hours while riding in the car, and the car was all ski themed. So it almost was like we're bringing Aspen to Dallas. You're getting in this espresso martini, Après ski vibe car. You get to enjoy an Après Hours while you're riding. And we really just want to bring those experiences to our customers.
So whenever people, are getting in a car or playing a card game, they're getting a certain feeling. And we want that same feeling when they see us on a billboard, when they see the car, when they see, us on social media. We want that same feeling that they get when they're, getting in the car, or all of that.
Yeah, and to build on what Alexis said, strategic partnerships are huge because it gives our community a chance to experience Après Hours, not only by holding the drink, but being a part of an event, being a part of a community, wearing the merch. It really aligns people to not just the drink itself, but our brand and what Après Hours is. So when we did the partnership with Alto, we really loved doing that because it was during ski season. Obviously in Texas, it doesn't snow. So we wrapped a car that was Apres ski themed, and we really wanted people to get that experience of being able to ride in the Alto car, drinking their Après Hours, and almost like that Aspen feeling, but in Dallas, which was really fun. And we want to be able to bring those different types of experiences to our community. Like Alexis also said, the card game. When you're playing the card game, you can be drinking an espresso martini or drinking Après Hours, and it's something to do while you're drinking Après Hours. It's something to experience while you're enjoying the beverage. So we really want our company to be not only a beverage that tastes good, but also something people can experience, and there's life to it as well.
Yeah, it's a very versatile beverage. To your point, you can drink it while shopping, you can drink it while riding in certain cars, even at fitness classes, anytime, any place. How do you guys balance, like, I think about the activation type marketing? It's a little bit of a higher investment. It's a little bit more of a personal touch. How do you guys balance like the more high touch marketing versus like casting a broader net?
So I would say we do a lot of guerrilla marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that it would cost a lot, but coming from marketing backgrounds, we know how to do it on a lower budget scale.
Cool, but still maintaining that high impact, and that the brand partnerships probably help because there's a benefit for those partners as well.
Right.
Exactly.
I think with brand partnerships, it's huge because usually we're sharing that experience together. Even with social media, when we do campaigns, that's all guerrilla marketing. Essentially, we're doing it all through social media, through our TikToks, through our Instagram stories. We're just always trying to constantly engage with our customers. So
yeah, because I mean, that's free marketing
Yeah.
right there. Not anything that you have to pay for. And I think people don't utilize it, or brands don't utilize that enough. I mean, doing TikToks every day, Instagrams every day, that's just getting your brand out there and letting people see what this is for free.
Yeah, it shows personality behind the brand.
Yeah, and it also converts consumers to promoters and brand
Exactly.
ambassadors. I just the other week I had one of the owners of the new major league pickleball teams, and like there's tons of celebrities in the sport. Tom Brady, Kygo, Brene Brown's even got a team. You guys will soon. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But they were just saying one of the biggest things is just the amount of celebrities across the league and the social media platforms, the ability to get tons of eyeballs on an event quickly. And you guys really seem to leverage that well.
Exactly. We try to hit all touch points, whether it's social media, text message, billboards, partnerships. Try to hit it all. So then when people see us on the shelves, they're like, hey, I've seen Après Hours before, let me pick that up. Let me try it. And then they'll love it and buy it again.
Very good. A trend I've noticed that you guys seem to be contributing to is the rise of regional beverage companies. I know in Austin, Lalo Tequila is kind of like a regional brand. Osadilla in Dallas, others. Why do you think we're seeing more regional companies, and how do you see like regional beverage brands fitting into the larger national landscape?
Well, I think you have to own home base before you go out into, other states, other cities, all of that. So we really nailed down Dallas before we went into all of Texas, because home base is where, your friends, your family are, people, that have seen you before at charity events, have seen you working before. So owning home base and then going from there, because Dallas is such a perfect place to launch a company, because people are moving here from New York, California, you name it, and then it's a trickle effect from there.
So we really wanted to build on a local level just because we want to create that community. And once you get those community ambassadors in your city, then it's easy to expand. And it kind of creates that FOMO effect. If we're doing all these things in Dallas. Why aren't we doing those things in Austin? Why aren't we doing those things in Houston? So then we can start expanding and building those brand ambassadors and those communities as we're growing.
Yeah, super cool. The chief growth officer of Uber was a guy named Andrew Chen. He wrote a book called The Cold Start Problem, and he really talked about building in what he would call atomic networks. So you go in and they would go in and do these launches. So they would activate a city. And similar to what you guys can pull a sports team, a clothing store, a fitness concept, a restaurant, a cocktail bar, and get some of those like cross references going and really light up a market.
Exactly.
One thing, that's been clear is this Après Hours movement that's much bigger than the beverage. Can you speak a little bit to the vision you're shooting for with creating these communities and empowering the communities?
Time to shake things up. We're trying to create not only Après Hours espresso martinis, but our motto is it's time to shake things up. And really, this is a male-dominated industry. Less than 2% of women own a ready-to-drink cocktail. So, and it shouldn't be like that at all. So our tagline, is it's time to shake things up. Obviously a play on words with espresso martinis, but shaking things up in a male-dominated industry. I mean, everybody that we meet with thus far have been males. So we really want to encourage other women to go out there in whatever industry they're in and shake things up.
Excellent. And why do you think that is? What are some of the contributing factors to the underrepresentation in this industry?
I think it's just kind of an old school industry. I think, it's probably intimidating for some women because it is a tough industry. It's a, billion-dollar industry filled
very
with
cutthroat,
filled with males. So, some women probably think it might not be for them, but we want to encourage them that it is for you. Anything is for you.
Yeah, no matter what industry, it can be beverage, it can be anything else, but we really wanted to pave a way for women, especially being two females in their 20s, entering this industry, starting a business, and really hitting the ground running on a bigger scale. If we can do it, then we want other women to know that they can as well.
It's something I think is really cool that you guys have done is build in commitment to that mission into your business model. You speak a little bit to the Après Hours grant program.
Yeah, so we decided to launch a grant program. We knew we wanted to do something that gave back. Alexis and I both have a lot of charity backgrounds, and we knew we wanted to do something that was bigger than just the drink itself. So we decided to launch a grant program, and once every quarter we pick a female entrepreneur to give a certain grant to. Hopefully we'll grow it as we grow, but that's mainly because we want to be a part of helping a female entrepreneur build their business. And it's really cool for us because we get to personally see these applications. We get to personally see the difference we're making in this female entrepreneur's life by helping her kickstart her business or take it to the next level. So that's something we're really proud of and really excited to start instilling into Après Hours. We actually just picked our first female grant winner, which is really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We'll announce the next one April 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So this one's still in stealth mode.
Yes. They're still
cool.
playing. But yes, we will announce the next one April 12th, and then the second quarter starts. So we'll announce the next one after that. So 3 more chances this year to receive a grant.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's such a cool thing that you guys have built in to pay it forward. You demonstrate like a leadership presence, a very forward-looking strategic mind, obviously an incredible level of marketing expertise. What books or other content have contributed to your guys' professional development?
So, I love books, but I really do listen to podcasts more just because, I love The Skinny Confidential. I love Mariana Hewitt. She started Summer Fridays. She interviews other entrepreneurs, but I love to see their journey and what they went through in the beginning and how they're forwarding their businesses now. So I'm a big podcast person. I listen to one every morning just to, get insights on their, minds, what they're doing in the industry. It doesn't have to be alcohol, but just getting, industry trends.
Yeah. And I love podcasts, but I'm also a book person too. So whenever we started the business, I read Start With Why, which was really great. I think if you are any entrepreneur wanting to be an entrepreneur starting a business, it's really good to help nail down the reason why you're starting it. Yes, you know what you want to create, but really finding that why behind it is something that was really cool to read while putting this idea into something that was going to be a reality. And then also, I really like the book called Principles, which it's just really great because I think if you start a business, you need to know what your values are, what your principles are, and how you're going to build off of that business. We actually have a whiteboard in our office, but we write down things to make sure that we're staying focused on our goal. I think there's so many opportunities and it's really hard to or it's easy to kind of veer off. So making sure we're always staying focused on what's important to us and making sure we're executing that before anything else.
Awesome. Just to pick up on Start With Why, one of my favorite things about Simon Sinek is like, if you watch that original YouTube video, he does that in front of like 20 people. Like it wasn't like he wasn't at like in some big auditorium doing that on like the real TED stage. It was like in like a kind of dusty conference room in front of like a very small group of people, and he went after it like he was in a stadium.
I love that.
Super cool. You mentioned like the plans to grow. What is on the horizon for Après Hours?
So definitely grow throughout Texas. We are throughout Texas right now. We're online in 38 states as well, but going into different markets. So Colorado, Florida, California, New York. So those are next steps that you will have to follow along to see.
And then maybe there will also potentially be more flavors.
Oh, okay. Cool. Hopefully you take some community submissions on those.
Oh yeah, we definitely will.
Taste testers.
Yeah,
very good.
Right now, I think we mentioned this at the beginning, but we have 3 flavors: classic, salted caramel, and vanilla. I know you're sipping on the vanilla,
but they are all 10% alcohol, dairy-free, gluten-free, which is amazing because I'm slightly gluten intolerant. So whenever I drink vodka or anything, I get very, very blush. So we had to make sure that it was gluten-free. And then it has equivalent to a shot of espresso as well. So it doesn't make you jittery. The alcohol balances it out, but they're absolutely delicious, very light and refreshing. If you like that more milky kind of taste with your espresso martini, you can always add almond milk, oat milk, whatever you want, but the alcohol is already there.
Very good. I mean, what's the best way, like whether people live in Texas or other states, how can they get their hands on one of the flavors?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, drinkaprehours.com, there's a store locator on there, and you can see the nearest store near you. And then also, if you're ordering online, there is a shop now.
Very good. And what's the best way to keep up?
Through social media. So on Instagram and TikTok, and also YouTube as well. But Drink Après Hours is our username. So make sure to follow us. We have a lot of updates. We have a lot of great content. So
always doing giveaways, always doing events, always doing partnerships. So stay tuned on those platforms to be the first to know.
Well, we'll make sure to have links to all of those references in the show notes. So the ski club and the social club and the tennis club keep growing and growing. Thanks for coming on the show, girls.
Thank you
so much.